Okay, my name is James Wilson, and I'm from the United States.
Okay.
hmm
I'm going to ask you some few questions.
hmm
So, what do you like to do, like for your hobby and stuff?
Well, I like to play football. I do a bit of mixed martial arts, and just drive around, go out, read, usual
And
stuff.
what's your priority right now?
My priority is just study, just get good grades right now. That's for the
And
meantime.
why? What's the
Just,
reason?
just nothing much. Just I
For
see
your
that.
parents?
Just personally, just don't want to. I just find that should be like the main thing that I should be doing right now. So just only studying.
So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I haven't really figured that out yet. Right now I'm just doing what makes me happy the most. So yeah.
So, what's the difference between Thai culture and your culture?
So what I've seen so far, being here, is that here in Thailand, there's a lot of, like, how do you say it? A lot of unity. There's like a lot of like lots of people, like there's like what I've noticed is like there's people like to be in these different groups, and like um, from what I've seen, it's like a lot of people, like it's like in class, like all the Thai kids, they always like to stay and they're like their own group, and while like other kids who are like exchange students, like were so like alone and all that. So
Then
what
what's
I've
it
seen,
like in the States?
it's like, well, it's more, it's like, I don't know what I've seen.
Or like you can be with anyone?
Yeah, you can be with anyone, but like here in Thailand, it's like you're more segregated, you're more separated. hmm What I've seen.
And when do your parents provide you freedom in your life?
Freedom, sort of when it was around 17, 18 years old, my parents started letting me off the leash. So yeah.
So did you move out?
No, I still stay with them, but they're kind of like, yeah, do whatever you want. Just come back in time, so like no more than midnight, something along those lines. So yeah.
Is punctuality important for you?
Yeah. Punctuality, well, yeah, uh, I find that something important. It's pretty important. You have to be on time. It's pretty important.
What's your first culture shock?
Culture shock is, they're very, Thai people are very humble in a way. Like they're like very like, the social structure and everything. They're like, the respect for elders. You don't really see that in the Western world. So yeah.
Like the why thing?
Why I think yes, very new.
And what do you think is interesting about your culture?
Interesting in my culture. I don't know. I don't see anything very interesting about my culture.
That's
So yeah.
honest. And do you prefer working alone or in group?
Depends on the situation. Sometimes I'd rather work alone, but working in groups is sometimes, two heads are better than one. So yeah.
Have you faced some difficulties in culture difference?
Yes, I've seen a bit of. The problems I've seen is with the culture differences, just like kind of like sometimes like when you might do something like for like in Western cultures, it might be seen as normal, but in like like in Thai culture, it's like really frowned upon. Like sometimes like taking off your shoes, like or like putting your feet on the table or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
normal for you.
For like similar. Like sometimes we just like want to rest our legs somewhere, and then in Thai culture, like what are you doing? It's like that's very frowned upon.
What's your first impression about Thai culture?
It's something new. It's very beautiful. It's like something that
What do you mean, like girls?
it's no. Well, they're beautiful too, but it's like it's something that I don't know. It's very unique in its own way.
Who hold most status in your family?
My mom, most likely my mom, because she's the one who usually calls the shots around the house. It's like that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you feel stressed about most in your life, and how do you
Stress.
deal with it?
Mostly family problems. That's about it. Yeah, like so like
Just manage to figure it
yeah,
out.
just manage to figure it out. That's it.
And tell me about the most significant presentation that you've ever had to do.
Most significant presentation. That's a hard one. Not yet. I haven't had any
Okay, we'll make it a pass.
Yeah.
And tell me about a time when you had to communicate bad news and how did you deliver the news?
Well, firstly, you have to take your time, think about it, how you're going to deliver it to make it, how do you say it, to make it make it as smooth as possible, and to like have the least collateral damage as possible. Because like sometimes delivering bad news, it's gonna have an effect on the person you're giving it to. So you're gonna like try to like smooth it out first.
And do you prefer to communicate verbally or written, and why?
Well, I can communicate both ways. I don't really. Either way is fine. So yeah.
Tell us about a situation when you failed to communicate appropriately.
Sometimes when there's like a lot of things going on, and then like one person comes to ask me something, and I just kind of like can't process whatever's going on at the time. So it's just like I just say out gibberish. So yeah.
Can you tell when someone is mad at you, or how?
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward. I can pretty much tell who's like if someone's mad at me. It's like you can tell by like their physical action and what they do. It's like pretty much.
Some people cannot tell.
Can't tell, right?
Yeah.
If like there's something wrong, then I just like see it and just like, hey, what's up? Yes.
What's the most important thing while having conversation?
Most important thing while having a conversation. Well, paying attention to the person you're talking to. That's the main thing. I find that it's very important because sometimes you might be talking to the person, but that person might not be, giving your undivided attention. So yeah.
Is it appropriate to talk about politics, religion, or belief with the person you just met?
Well, on this matter, for this question, it depends on the person that you like, how fast you get along with that person. So say if I met someone who's, say, I've been talking for about half an hour, we get along pretty fine, and asking these questions might not be a problem. But in the end, it comes down to that individual's how they see the importance of these subjects. So yeah.
So when you were in high school, do you have to raise your hand to speak, or you just can shout out somewhere?
Either one. So I like sometimes I just raise my hand, like ask.
Rude, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's just like if it's something that I want to like ask, like it's like immediate right then, and I just like try to say it out. Depends. So yeah.
How do you motivate yourself and your teamwork to complete unpleasant assignments?
For me, it's just suck it up and do it. Pretty much, suck it up and do it.
Okay.
It's like this thing won't last forever, so just suck it up and do it.
When you feel like your parents, siblings, or friends do not understand you, how are you going to explain it?
Well, if at the meantime I explain it to them and they still don't understand, then I just kind of like leave that topic or just leave the situation for a while and then come back and try to explain it again. But if it's some circumstances where like they really don't understand, then I just drop the topic. Like, fine, you don't understand, just forget it.
Is there do you have to communicate like a certain way for an older person with a friend? Is there any differences?
Well, with a person with
Like
there's a bit of a difference for me when I do it. It's like sometimes with someone a bit more like older than me, I just kind of like try to be polite first, like sir, ma'am, madam, whatever. So yeah, but with friends, it's like, hey, like, just normally.
How about eye contact while having conversation? Do you consider that important?
It sort of does. It's like sort of shows that your attention to you're giving your attention to the person. So yes.
What's your opinion about the education here and there?
Education here and
Yeah,
difference
States,
here.
yeah.
Well, from what I've seen so far, this education here is the private sector of like the education system. It's like there's something wrong with it. Like it's not really that well funded, or it's like I see a lot of uneven. How do you say it? It's like, what's the word?
The education style and teaching.
It's like the style teaching, the like funding. I don't know. It's like really big.